Been a technical difficulty. Can you hear me now? Say something if you can hear me now. Okay, good. Welcome everybody. This is, I think, run number 4, but I did a 20-minute video earlier, and I'll keep it down shorter now because I know exactly what I wanted to say, and I was kind of just floating around last time. But I wanted to quickly just talk about the power of saying yes, and kind of give a story. This is my second Periscope. Somebody who's on here right now kind of introduced me to this, and I didn't think, again, no, or if that's what you'd like to do. But what I didn't think is that I'd be on here, and then I'll get to that real soon. What happened was New Year's Eve this year, New Year's Eve, I was at a very, very low point of my life. The reason being is I'd served 10 years in the Marine Corps, knowing that as I got out, I was going to I knew I was going to pursue being a high school guidance counselor. I knew it from middle school that I was going to be a high school guidance counselor. But what happened was that was not the route that my life went. What my life did was it took a turn, and the turn was for the worst. The turn put me in a depressed state of my life that ultimately led me here. And so let me take you kind of on this journey of this turn. I got into a huge fight trying to help a friend out in the Marine Corps, and that fight led me to a court-martial in which I was found guilty of maiming, and I didn't think anything of that because once I got out, I still got an honorable discharge, and once I got out, I still was able to secure a great job, keep my security clearance. I have an honorable discharge, and I finished my bachelor's degree, all this stuff. And as I was continuing through this life of what I was doing, I didn't feel whole. What I mean by that is I literally didn't feel whole because 10 years I spent in the Marine Corps in a very technical job, and I loved my job. I loved what I was doing, but more I loved the humanistic, the aspects of getting to know people and work with people, anywhere from 17-year-old privates to 41-year-old master gunnies and lieutenant colonels, playing volleyball with these guys and getting to know them and their families and helping tons of people through divorce and depression and just trying to find themselves. I knew that I was going to get out and do something in that realm. And so what I wanted to do, I wanted to be a high school guidance counselor. So I finished my bachelor in psych. And what I wanted to do, oh, you remember me? I finished my bachelor's in psych, and then I pursued my master's in school counseling. But because of this fight in the Marine Corps, I wasn't able to get the proper credentials and whatnot. Currently, I'm in process of getting into a pardon and all that. But needless to say, New Year's Eve 2014, going into 2015, a friend of mine was at my house. And he saw how low I was. My wife had talked to him, and another friend was there. And he simply just said to me, "Why are you limiting yourself to what you think is what you want to do?" What are you talking about? Your purpose that you'd like to do is help people. Why do you feel you need to help people in an office? Why do you think that you need to be a counselor? Why don't you become a life coach? And I said, okay, well, let me hear more of that. And I was very resistant to the idea of being a life coach for many reasons. The thought of, who am I to tell people what to do? And who am I to give, experience? And who's going to listen to me? Who's going to listen to me? Well, the fact is that once he said that, I just simply put it in the back of here. my subconscious. I listened for a little bit and I sat on it. And I said, you know what? I'll look into it. I sure did. I looked into it and I put it out there a couple weeks later. Hey, you know what? I think my life's on a different path. I'm going to look into become a life coach. And at that moment, I'm talking about hours later, a family friend of ours, a friend of my mom's from I hadn't seen in 15 years, he said, yo, come talk to me. So I said, okay. We sat there and talked for 6 hours about hypnotherapy. What is hypnotherapy? Never heard of it. Didn't even like cross my mind that it was a profession or anything. The last thing I knew, hypnosis was on stage, making you cluck like a chicken, this, that, and the other. And I'd never heard of that. I'd known about traditional counseling only because I wanted to be into that field. But hypnotherapy, something completely not what I was into, not what I wanted to get into. Anyway, I said okay, and I put a little note on my phone, and I said I'll look into it. So sure enough, I put this note on my phone about hypnotherapy, and it took me a good 2 to 3 weeks looking at it, having it come up. Oh, checking HMI, HMI being the Hypnosis Motivation Institute. And so for a whole month, 3 to 4 weeks, I sat there seeing this message pop up, checking the HMI, and I finally broke down. I was like, fine, I'm going to check into it. Sure enough, checked into it that day. I signed up. I didn't have anything to lose. I still have GI Bill money, and why not have some tools to help me continue to help people in a different aspect? That's where I'm saying all I have to do is say yes. Okay. So I said yes to this. I signed up for it, and I'm going to be very, very frank. It wasn't my thing for, the first 4 months. And I was very skeptical. And, I see tons of people having, these grand things happen to them and change happen right before my eyes. And I was still like, I don't believe it. Until I was able to hypnotize somebody and get somebody into a state of hypnosis. Mind you, we're always in a state of hypnosis, but I'm not going to get into that aspect right now. I was able to get my wife under and, change some habits and this, that, and the other. And so I started believing in it. And I started saying yes to hypnotherapy and that this was a real tool. Anyway, there's this grad page on Facebook where somebody was like, hey, who's looking for office space? And in that aspect, I wasn't even ready to see clients yet. I wasn't ready to see clients. I wasn't ready to put myself out there like that. But I knew that I wanted to get a workspace where I could say, look, this is my workspace. I'm going to focus on work, whatever it is. And the minute I decide I want to go on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, I'm going to shut the computer down, walk out, because this is my workspace. I knew that I needed a workspace in order for me to get where I needed to be. So I said, yeah. She invited me over. We had a tour, and I decided I was going to bring my wife and kid. And so she said, oh, I'll bring my husband and kid. And so we met the families. The families met. And so she showed me around, and I'll show you a tour soon, but she showed me around, and the thing was that it was quaint. It was nice. It was the right price for the right time. And so what we did was our families bonded, and I was just in the right place at the right time. I have to be quiet because there's a psychic having a session right now. Hey. We were just in the right place at the right time, and the thing was, the husband liked us so much that he said, you know what, we don't need to see anybody else. And so I was given this opportunity to have this office space for $250 a month, sharing some days, which is fine, because I didn't have any clients yet. I wasn't seeing anybody. So what happened was I agreed to the $250, and this is the tour they gave us. Get into this quaint little office, and this is the tour they gave us for $150. And as time went on, she said yes to kind of keep it short. Josh, I'm a life coach hypnotherapist, but I am getting into sports hypnosis. And so what happened is, she showed us the small office. It was quaint, and for my price, it was $250 for a couple days a week. And we saw this place. Have a good night. I'll see you later. And I said, sure, yes. What do I need a big office for? I'm just seeing a few clients whenever I see clients. And then what happened was that our office, the owner of the office, gave up the lease. And she called me and she says, hey, we might get evicted, so if you want to stick around, I'll drop the price to $150. I said, sure, I'll stick around. I'll follow you guys wherever, because it was just the opportunity to me. I was simply saying yes to the opportunity of having my own office. So she said it's going to be $150, and it'll stay that price because we don't know if we're leaving. Just the next, 3 hours later, she's like, oh, we signed another lease, and she just kept it at $150. Well, what happened was, as those people left, some people left, and then another office opened up, and she said, we can take this big office, but you just have to pay another. Cool, $250. So imagine, this is my office just last week for, the last, 6 months. And now we're moving into this office, and I had my first session in this office today. And it's amazing. The energy was amazing. The space is amazing. The flow is amazing. It's just amazing. And what it is it just gives me the opportunity to bring a different type of client into here and have a different clients. Or my clients have a different reaction and experience in life coaching and hypnosis, just sessions in general. This big office gives me the experience simply just because I said yes. I allowed myself to move into something I was unclear and unsure about, and I didn't know what I was doing. And all I'm simply saying at this point is that if you say yes to opportunities, you have no idea what can come out of it. Another example, I guess the president of the school, he asked me, hey, do you want to be a part of the production team? I said yes. Well, that's not what I said first, and that's where I'm getting at. What I told him was, you know what? I don't have the time. I have a full-time job. I've got other stuff going on, and I saw his face, and his face is like, you're about to say no to me? And I said, you know what? Turn your phone. I'm super small. Okay. What I said was to him, I said, okay, you know what? Yes, I'll be a part of the production team. And from that moment on, my life has astronomically been in fast forward. And not because I was part of his production team, but just simply because I was now on his radar. The director of the school has picked, out of all the students in the school, all the more clairvoyant and in tune with their bodies and mind and emotion, he picked me to, by name, send to a networking group, an exclusive networking group that is phenomenal. Let me explain. So in order to get the director's award at school, there's some steps you have to take. Basically, you're fast forwarding your business. And one of them is be a part of a professional networking group. Now, the professional networking group is a way, basically, you market other people. So it's like free advertisement in a sense, except for you pay a fee to be part of the networking group. Now, had I said no for him to be a part of his production team, had I said no, I would have not been on his radar. He gave me the permission to use his name. That means he is backing me. If I screw up or if I do wrong, well, his name is attached to me. The director of an institute that pushes out dozens and hundreds and almost thousands of students a year on has instilled confidence in me to recommend me to a networking group that will change my life. And let me tell you how. Since I said yes to that, and I was very hesitant to that, being, financial reasons, I said yes. I met a guy who is, he owns his own hospice. And he said, we're going to talk within the month, and I've got tons of work for you. Simply by me saying okay, and I was ready to say no. So many times in the past 2 months, I was ready to say no, and then I changed my mind right there. And it has benefited me in so many different ways. And so what I'm trying to get at, without running my mouth for the next 30 minutes, which I can easily do, what I'm trying to get at is, if it's not going to hurt you, if it's not going to put you in a predicament where you might end up in jail, where you might end up in the hospital, or, dead, if it's not going to put you in a position, in negative aspect, just open your mind up and say yes. Open your mind up. Take that job that you may not want. Because the people there, you might learn a trade. You might find your best friends. You might be offered something completely different once you're there. Say yes to a guy you may have never looked twice at. What happened, Scarlett? You took a job that you weren't ready for? Well, let me know. I'm really into what happened. But, while you're typing, what's the dream job? As she types, I'm just going to say, continue to say yes, people. Continue to bring positive marketing and sales. Well, marketing and sales takes a lot of work, and I imagine that you really know that you're going to do very well in it if you put in the time and effort. My wife is in marketing and sales, and I know how thankless the job is. So I really commend you for going through that. So, but yes, say yes. Work comp, injury, and recovery. I have some friends going through workman's comp right now, so continue to say yes. Do not close doors. If you close doors, people, you burn bridges without even knowing it. If you close the door too many times, people will stop thinking about you and they will overlook you, and somebody will take that blessing. Somebody will take that opportunity and they will get the blessings that could have been yours. Once again, I know it's not much. It's not, an office by the lake or anything, but we just moved in this weekend. In fact, it's Saturday, right? We just moved in today. From a small, tiny office. And it's only... Guys, so with that being said, I hope everyone has a blessed night, a better weekend. And until the next time, follow me on Twitter. Find us on Facebook. And if you want a session and you're in the California area, hit me up. I also do Skype messages, and I'm ready to coach people to be the best person and best employee and best father or mother or son or daughter. Let's just make positive change, guys. So with that, I love you guys. I will see you later.